compared to where we were in manufacturing in this country 10 or 20 years ago, today is much different. New automation tools, 3D printing, additive manufacturing, novel processes and materials, the role of information and analytics on the factory floor that most of you in this room understand, really changing the role of manufacturing. And what we call the industrial internet. And that's really what I'm going to talk about for the rest of this morning, which is just the application of connectivity and analytics and tools in the industrial setting. We think these are three of the big waves in this era, and none more important than the industrial internet. And then just the way we run the company is different today. Simpler, leaner, faster, to be able to support all of you and the businesses that are important for the company going forward. So this is just kind of some of the new ideas, but more importantly, I'm going to bear in now for the rest of this morning on talking about the industrial internet, which is something we really as a company have been working on for probably the last 5 years. So the headlines I would give you is that first and foremost, the nature of technology is changing. And it's changing by combining material science, which is what GE's worked on since Edison, with analytics, which is just changing the world we live in today. So the product in many ways, the machine is kind of the table stakes. It's the foundation, but those machines are now surrounded with analytics. The plane, let's say you fly from Orlando back to Chicago, 70% of the planes are going to have a GE engine on them. The GE engine represents literally decades of physics and material science experience inside our company. That engine is now surrounded by 30 sensors. Those sensors are going to probably acquire a terabyte of data in that flight, an incredible amount of data. And that data is going to be about the wear of the blades, the fuel consumption, the heat of the engine, the stress, and that is the world today. So the nature of technology has changed, first and foremost. Two is this notion that information today needs to drive outcomes. And in the case of GE, it's information created by, let's say, $1 trillion installed base of our products around the world. Last night I was in Cleveland and I was meeting with, probably 2,000 healthcare executives that were there at a conference by the Cleveland Clinic. And healthcare is an industry, as you guys know, where there's just a million challenges as it pertains to cost, quality, and access. And it accumulates an incredible amount of information. But they haven't been able to transform that information first into data, then into analytics, and then into outcomes. And what we see in the world we live in today is the extreme need to bridge from the information that these assets can acquire into the outcomes that people want. And by outcomes, I mean no unplanned downtime, improving fuel performance, things like that. And if I give you the way, when I go talk about the industrial internet to an oil and gas CEO or an airline CEO or a hospital CEO, I leave marketing phrases like industrial internet at the door, and I talk about no unplanned downtime. And I guarantee you, if you know how to talk about no unplanned downtime when you're with the CEO of an oil and gas company, they're going to listen to you. And if you talk about the industrial internet, if the CEO of an oil and gas company, they're going to throw your ass out, right? So I've learned how to stay in the office and hang around, And that to me is these ideas have to drive outcomes. And lastly, no one company is going to do this on their own. There's going to end up being collaboration. Our vision for this maybe starts with GE assets, but it doesn't end with GE assets. And so we have a notion of connectivity. We have a notion of taking whatever we do from an operating platform, whether it's prophecy or predicts or anything we do, and make it able to push across all the assets that are in a customer's operation. So think about the industrial internet. Think about it on these three levels. Technology's changed. Information has to be turned into outcomes. And collaboration, security, partnerships are absolutely key. in terms of everything we do. This is the industrial internet, just kind of everything I've learned in the 5 or 6 years that we've been leading this inside GE about what's important and how it has to be delivered and the main ideas. Machines are smarter, but machines matter, right? I think sometimes when I am in Silicon Valley, you know, there's a notion, if you're in a software company, that machines don't count. In the world that we live in the industrial world, machines count, right? The knowledge of failure mode, material science, this is incredibly important and very foundational to the industrial internet. Enabling technologies are really sit between the machine and the intelligence and the brain, and this world is moving quickly. It's not necessarily, I mean, we are a big participant in it, but there's a lot of technology in sensors and controls and robotics and artificial intelligence, and these enabling technologies are rich. We're investing like mad, but it's extremely important. And then big data, operating systems, analytics. And so these three need to be packaged. Smart machines, getting real-time access to real-time data, and being able to model that data and turn it into outcomes. These are the three components of the industrial internet. And we've invested probably in the last couple of years about $1 billion just in this space, a lot more on the machines, but just in the industrial internet, because we believe that if you harness these three things, you can drive real capability. And we believe GE is uniquely positioned to do these three things. The software company is going to come at it from the analytics, but it's not going to have the machines. It's our intention to have the machines and go through the analytics.